Hey, what's up guys? It's Sebastian Castillo here. It's a little windy this morning here in Barranquilla, Colombia. Hope you can hear me just fine. And the topic of this video was substances. Specifically, how society has normalized taking certain substances that actually end up making us weaker and more susceptible to mind control. So, to start off, I have a confession to make. You know, I was living in Mexico for almost 3 years before coming to Colombia here 2 weeks ago. And for most of that time, I was smoking weed. I would smoke weed second, third day, sometimes every single day. I'm not proud to say that, but it was just so easy to access and so cheap, and it felt good. I figured, why not? I can reward myself at the end of a long day. I can have a more fun experience when I'm out and I go to the beach, right? And I can get together with friends and chill. And I won't say that these last 2 weeks have felt that much different. Maybe I need to give it some more time. But after learning certain facts, I can't say I will ever make it a habit again. Weed, along with alcohol and caffeine, are the 3 most accepted substances in modern society, modern Western society, that make us open to mind control and propaganda. I'll explain what I mean. So, with weed, you see the weed shops popping up everywhere now. Even during the scandal in Canada, everything was closed, but the weed shops were open. You could still smoke your joints, right? You could still get your brownies. Because they know the more dumbed down you are, the more passive you become, the easier it is to rule over you. My mentor, Jason Christoff, talks a lot about this, because this channel here is about truth and about freedom, okay? I've talked a lot about making money, talked a lot about moving to different countries and learning different languages, understanding how cultures are distinct from each other, finding your tribe. But you also need to protect yourself, no matter where you are. It's easier when you're in a different country because you feel a little detached as a foreigner. I'm back in Canada, I understand everything perfectly in English, right? My Spanish is great, but I'm not part of Mexican or Colombian society like I'm part of Canadian, or I was part of Canadian society, right? Go to public school for years, for 18 years, or these messages in your head the whole time, the heads of young impressionable children. Nowadays, it's probably worse than it's ever been before with the whole drag queen story time shit. All this is happening right now. And it's only just getting started. It's only just ramping up. So, weed is one of these things. But let's be real. Weed is still a little taboo. Okay? Most people are against it, and it's, shall we say, kind of logistically difficult to make because you have to smoke it, right? Other people can detect it. But there are 2 substances that are so famous now. You see it everywhere. No one really seems to have a problem with. And those would be alcohol and caffeine. We'll save the best for last, so we'll start with alcohol. It's acceptable to go out for a drink, or a date with friends, big promotion at work, you're not feeling good, got a breakup. It's acceptable to have a glass of whiskey at the end of a long workday to reward yourself, right? It's become normalized, and the truth is alcohol is probably one of the worst substances you can consume. I've got a whole bunch of links down in the description for you guys to check out about the facts behind all of this. But you don't need science to tell you that ingesting a substance which impairs your motor abilities, which impairs your judgment, and if drank to excess can kill you, is something bad for you. And yet, if it's just one beer, if it's just one glass of wine, right, it's not going to hurt anyone. That's wrong. And if you check the notes in the description, you'll see. Well, let's get really into the meat and potatoes here. Let's talk about coffee, caffeine. This is probably the most insidious substance out there. It's even more normalized than alcohol because pretty much anyone can go grab a cup of coffee. There's a Starbucks on every corner. You watch movies and you see friends and lovers going out for a cup of coffee. It's cheap. It's tasty. The truth of the matter is, coffee makes you weak. It puts you in your fight or flight mode, where you either need to face up against an immediate danger or run away from it. And when you're constantly overstimulating your nervous system, you're becoming dependent on this substance just to wake up in the morning. It dulls you. It makes you compliant. It makes you do things that you otherwise wouldn't, like going to work at a shitty job for 20, 30, 40 years and never trying to break out of that matrix. And so what you have to understand about caffeine is that it's been used now for centuries to control people. Okay? If you look at the British Royals, for example, they had tea time. Tea time was for the slaves, for the workers, because they knew if they can make it seem like a friendly, leisurely activity to sit down, have a cup of tea. Little break, right? What they don't know is that tea, every single that caffeinated tea is making them a better worker and dulling their senses and preventing them from thinking through things. You should completely quit altogether. Something else that's interesting is back in the 90s when Starbucks was just getting started, I believe when Howard Schultz had 5 or 6 stores, it wasn't going that well. So a certain Bill Gates Sr. and Bill Gates Jr. jumped in and said, listen, we'll invest in a coffee company here, and we're going to turn this into an empire. And that's what happened, right? Again, you see Starbucks everywhere. This is by design. It's not because they just wanted to create an authentic Seattle coffee house everywhere where people can get together with friends or go work on their laptop for a couple of hours and stay energized with, you know, an iced latte or a pumpkin spice latte, whatever the fuck people drink. It's by design. It's to keep people enslaved and take their money at the same time, right? So I don't want to demonize these things. But once you look at the facts, the situation is just undeniable. And again, if you want a lot more information about this, you can look in the show notes. You can look down in the description at the links I've provided, and you can read all about this. There's actually a book written about every single coffee study ever conducted and why. Once you look at the facts clearly, it is obvious that this is a substance that has been lobbied for and has been pushed on people for the sole purpose of just making them more compliant and easy to rule over. Okay? Why do you think it was so easy to get people to put masks on their faces, on their children's faces, and to inject themselves with poison 2 years ago, and even now to some extent, right? A lot of people are looking back now and shaking their heads thinking, oh, wow, how did that even happen? You know, a lot of people thinking, oh yeah, you know, it was fake all along, I knew it. But they were in on it too. They followed along. They actually believed it. I didn't believe that shit for a second. And I would hope that anyone watching this channel is also in that state, right? Who could recognize bullshit when they first saw it around, well, in China it all started around December 2019, and then in the Western world it really started to ramp up, I believe around February, and then it really got out in around mid-March, if I'm not mistaken. That's when things started to close. So don't want to make this too long, right? Just a little, taking a few steps here and there. And like I said, if you want more information, you can check out the links in the description. And on top of that, as I mentioned, my mentor Jason Christoff has talked a lot about this. So he's actually running a new program that starts on September 30th. That's coming up real soon here. And the idea is that Jason has been researching mind control and how to take back your sovereignty for something like 20 years now. And for those of you who might be thinking, okay, well, Sebastian, I thought this channel was about making money and traveling and all that. Don't worry, he covers that. He's a multimillionaire. He's had he moved away from Canada. He can teach you all about how to set up residency and banking in Panama. Right? There's a lot to cover in this program. But if that's something you want to learn about, and more importantly, if you actually want an inside look at a lot of hidden information and take a peek inside Jason's mind after 20 years of speaking to high-level people and really looking closely at the ruling class and their ways of controlling people, then you should definitely check this out. So I've included a link to that in the description. It is an affiliate link. If you join, I'll get a commission. And I don't ever do this kind of thing, but I'm doing it this time because I'm joining the program. I've already bought my ticket. It's going to be, I think, what, 10 months or something like that. It's ongoing, right? It's going to be weekly sessions to sit down, ask him questions, get direct access to him, and you'll get a bunch of bonuses as well here to help you take back your sovereignty and to prevent any further mind control from happening for yourself and for your loved ones. So give that a look, right? And until then,